So you went to buy a sofa, you loved it in the showroom, and when you bought it home, it actually looks like an extra large sofa in extra small living room. Well, I've walked into hundreds of living rooms and designed many over the past 16 years, and I'm going to talk about 10 living room mistakes that you should know about so you can avoid them. Hi, I'm Sonika, an interior designer, content creator, and educator, and welcome to this YouTube video where I'll be talking about 10 mistakes which you can avoid. First and foremost, not taking care of the proportions, scale, and clearances. Now, you like something at a showroom or you bought something online like a sofa or a TV unit or a center table, but when you actually got it to the space, it's not just fitting in or looking right. The height is too much, the sofa looks low, or the height is less and the sofa looks really big. These are all proportion and scale issues. And the most common mistake which people make is they'll buy two adjacent sofas or an accent chair and a sofa, and when they place them together, there's literally no space to walk in. Or sometimes when you place things together, you feel it's looking right until somebody actually sits on those adjacent seats and their legs start clashing. So these are all clearances issues. Then, if you buy a sofa and you've not put the curtain yet, and when you hang the curtains, you don't have space behind the sofa for the curtain, these are all mistakes which you can make with proportion, scale, and clearances. The second mistake which you can make is to buy matchy sofa sets. Now, I know they come in ample and it's very easy to buy because you get like a 3 plus 2 plus 1 and then two matching chairs and then the matching console and center table, but it looks really boring. You're not making everything so uniformly. Have some mix and match, combine things together, do some contrast, mix and match fabrics, materials. But when you do that, you add a lot of character to the space. Number three, lighting. Just one harsh tube light in your space, just adding that perfect ambient lighting. Well, tube lights are gone now. It's the time of layering lighting. You have to understand that you definitely need a source of main lighting, which is your ambient lighting, which can be achieved from cove lighting and downlighters. But you also need accent as well as task lighting and some indirect lighting because living rooms are not just for one purpose and you need lighting based on functionality. Number four, no focal point. You enter a living room and the curtains are distracting you, then the sofa is also overpowering you. You have a huge mural artwork on the wall. You need to have one focal point and then all the other things need to be in respect to that. Number five, hanging curtains at the wrong height. Your window is shorter and you think that you can hang the curtains right above it, or it is too short if the windows are, say, 3 or 4 feet above the floor level and you go for short curtains, they look really bad. Curtains should be hung from the ceiling if possible because it really elongates the space. Even if your window is short, the curtain should still go till the bottom. Number six, buying the wrong coffee tables and side tables and other furniture pieces which are going to be put along with your sofa. Now, you may get the sofa right, but what if the center table height is not matching to the seat? So you have to make sure that the center table height is not too low or too high according to the sofa. Even the side table needs to match according to the sofa side rest. Next point is hanging your art too high or having an extra large art piece in a small room or choosing the wrong kind of art decor and rugs. So let me define that here. So while selecting the rug for a living room, it shouldn't be too small or just come into the center, which most people do. It should be as big so that all the furniture pieces legs come onto it. So you select the size accordingly. Next, for your artwork, don't hang it too high or too close to the sofa. It needs to be at a distance of about 6 to 10 inches above your sofa, chair, or any console piece. As per your decor, don't just fill up the spaces with loads of decor in an assorted or different manner because that looks really, really cluttered. What you can do is you can group the decor in either following the rule of three or otherwise arranging them in different sizes and shapes so that it looks more sorted and organized. Point number eight is making the entire living room very flat and choosing just one color or tone. You can definitely follow the 60-30-10 rule when it comes to defining a color scheme for a living space and add some textures, layer some materials, add greenery, and fill up your space with things that truly spark joy. Point number nine is not defining a purpose. Now, living room could be formal or informal, or it could serve more than one purpose. In small areas, compact apartments, sometimes the living room doubles up as a study room. Sometimes the same formal living setup for guests can turn into an informal space for your daily conversations. So it's extremely important to start designing your living room with a purpose. And lastly, listening to everybody is the biggest mistake which you can make, not in just designing your living spaces, but your entire house. Of course, there are some rules when it comes to decor and aesthetics and technicalities, but when it comes to choosing the things that you really love, there is no opinion there. I know that we make homes to impress others, but we need to impress ourselves first. It is for us first and then for others. So do follow your heart. And I hope you enjoyed these 10 steps, and I hope you can actually not make these mistakes when you're making a living room. If you want to see more such content, then let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'm going to see you in some other video.